Welcome to On the Shoulders of Giants, a giant robot power hour discussing mechs across media, their stories, and why we love them. I'm Alice, and I'm joined by Brian.
I have Alice in this cage. We're on our way to podcast jail together.
And Nico.
Listen, I have some serious concerns about you not respecting seniority, Brian. I'm the one who gets to tase Alice, okay?
It's time to get your A2 loadout, get in your Fuchikoma, and get ready to deploy. This time, hey, Brian, Nico, I know you wanted to talk about your upcoming PTO time, but I gotta go to a humanist theory course real quick over here and existentialize into the sunset. We can talk about your days off later. It's episode 4 of The Ghost in the Shell 2026. Let's launch into it. Hey pilots, Alice here. Not to be an anime heroine with you here in the break, but well, I called you back behind the school for a really important reason. It's just, I've been so happy spending all this time together, talking about mechs, watching giant robot anime, and building gunpla kits together. All those wonderful days, laughing at the silly plot of Price of Smiles, sharing G-Savior with our friends, and even when we all cried at Pacific Rim 2. I really cherish you, pilots, and that's why I can't keep this inside of me. I have to ask you a question. Okay, here goes. Will you please rate our podcast 5 stars? It really helps us with the algorithm. I mean, you can share with your friends too, or just post about it incessantly online. It would mean so much to me. Whew, glad I got that off my chest. Well, alright pilots, see you back in the episode.
I'd give up my vacation for Alice to pursue a academic career in the humanities for once.
For once! She's been letting us down for so long.
For once.
I'm macho over here. I just want to ram my car into something, okay?
Okay, we all saw his little face at the very end when they pull up to the dock.
Yes.
Oh,
My
yeah.
man had a terrifying smile on.
I'm just gonna call it here, because I had a moment after this one. This one hit me in a way. This might be the Ghost in the Shell. I think I'm ready. I wanted to hate. 4 episodes in, we're perfect. I'm calling the shot. 10 out of 10 for the whole series.
We're definitely doing cyberpunk as hell. This was the most, I think, cyberpunk episode so far, and I was feeling it.
Very Blade Runner.
This was absolutely the most lush with all that stuff, I think. I was very satisfied. I mean, and this is, to say it like, sort of to, and to cast everything else in this light too, right? Like, this is the Innocence plot. This is the, this is that chapter of the manga with some, again, like, it's doing this thing where it's reinterpolating a bunch of manga chapters, but then it gets to sprinkle in some of the more dynamic things other things have done with those storylines. It is just, it's basically a recipe that's hitting every time now that the structure's sort of settled into itself and everything.
Now that we're not at breakneck speed, yeah.
But again, we're not at breakneck speed, but there's an economy of storytelling. The fact that we're already here on episode 4, like,
yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm always a fan of letting things breathe, but I think that they have just really done the damn thing.
Now, as long as they don't have a G-Quux episode 8, we'll be doing pretty good.
See, now you're invoking the devil, and if you go around knocking on doors asking for him, eventually he'll answer.
Still have G-Quux. Now, for this time, Nico, you wrote the summary. I would love you to read your own summary, which I'm looking. First off, you wrote it correctly. Them words is in the right order, unlike mine. Also, this is 5 paragraphs.
It's 3 paragraphs? Thank you. I did not write a conventional essay. This is my episode summary of T Gets episode 4 by Nico, age 32.
Doxed.
I cast spitball.
No! Let me get my book report.
Now, Brian. She worked very hard on this.
I worked so hard on my book report.
She listened to your book report on Eureka 7. Listen to hers.
We haven't gotten there yet. That's all of next year. Anyway. So we open on a stereotypically ugly retired military guy playing golf and ordering one of his sexy robot servant girls to towel him off, who goes beast mode, understandably, and tries to kill him instead. Turns out this has been happening a lot, and the Shell Squad is on the case to find the root cause.
Ooh.
This ep is mostly Tokusa and Bato having a consensual workplace relationship. I mean, arguing about seniority and doing buddy cop shit. Hey, what was Bato's voice actor on? Anyway, as they work through this case, they visit the robot morgue and learn some of the Berserk units have SOS inscribed in blood inside their heads, and that robots in general are being abandoned to go feral at an increasing rate. It's just unusual for apparently brand new units like these, which are Tomalind units from Honka Precision Instruments, to pop off. We see the president of Honka, a Vaping Jameson unit, no, I am not joking, God is real, interrogating a senior designer who, under torture, admits that he implemented the Berserk mode /SOS by request of some trafficked girls involved in the production in exchange for implied sexual favors.
Yeah.
Thank God Togusa and Bato are on the scene just in time to see the interrogated guy shamble out of the building, get domed off, and then capture the sniper, who turns out to be Yakuza out for revenge for his boss, who got jumped by one of these Tomlin units. Bato redefines police brutality while Togusa has a panic attack. Then they delve into the facility to find out what exactly is going on. Togusa gets a single W, let's fucking go, by beating a yoked security woman /bot, maybe? Hand to hand, as Bato discovers the ghost dubbing machine turning trafficked children into robot OSs in a horrific process that destroys their minds. This is explained by the two girls who got the SOS out. In finest Section 9 tradition, Bato sees exploited children and harangues them for causing problems. Jesus, these refugee children are a drag. Then he and Togusa chase down the Honka president as he tries to flee by ship, only to fall off the boarding plank into the sludgy harbor and be arrested hours later. We close on Aramaki debriefing with the retired colonel from the beginning and thinking very hard about how our material conditions turn humans into machines that can only optimize and consume, while the major is focused on spending her PTO.
Yes. Thank you. This article may be too long or excessively detailed, but that is accurate.
That's so true. That's so
Was
fair.
this article helpful? Yes?
Yes.
No.
No.
All the things that you described are true and did happen. What was the name of this episode?
It's Robot Rondo.
Robot
That's right.
Randall. Robot Randall.
Here's what I'll say up front. Bato berating orphan children who went through a traumatic experience. Brian, you called it when we went over the manga. This is rancid. It's so bad in this one too.
I think this one, I thought this one was actually better about it. Like, he just kind of says, like, hey, you caused a lot of people to be hurt. Whereas in Innocence, I felt like he actively yelled at them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I do think there's an interesting thing happening here because, again, we're getting little subplots. This one I think is original to the manga. It's not been introduced, but when they've arrested the feral Alice unit, I mean the pink-haired one,
Yeah.
they're driving out and they get swarmed by protesters who are like completely blocking the way. And they're protesting the treatment of robots and have nothing to say about the dead people. And Togusa,
This was like the meat of my notes.
Yeah.
For this whole episode.
Dive into this right away. Honestly,
Yeah.
I want your interpretation because when they drove by the guy outside the ambulance after that, it evoked feelings in me, and I'm still processing this episode. This was heavy.
It was dense, too.
Well, I have the quotes down if we want to start with that.
Go.
Please.
The major says, corpses don't have rights, but machines do. Life sure comes cheap these days. And then Bato says, don't bother. Griping about population explosions will get you nowhere. They're a bunch of unfeeling bastards who would act like forgiving saints if their whole family got murdered. Every last one of them, they're just looking out for themselves. And yeah, I just like, I don't know that I was frustrated with the show, but like what one thing that show was lacking that, for example, Standalone Complex managed to have in basically every episode was a question like this, where they have a conversation about something that's happening around them that really does raise compelling questions about like, now that all these weird lines have gotten blurred in this society, like what does it mean for these things to happen in this order? Like what affordances are given to these things these machines that do appear to some degree think and feel. I think like one of the big things that we've talked about in The Year in the Shell, which again, to promote those, you should just go listen to all of our 2025 coverage.
Real quick, we'll wait.
Well, yeah.
Welcome back.
I'm checking my watch. Welcome back. Yeah, as you may have recalled after listening to whatever 24 hours or whatever the fuck that was.
A full year of podcasting.
One of the things that you may remember is that we talked about the ways that labor intersects with personhood when we start telling stories about androids and fabricated people. And I thought this was a really, really good, like the music is hitting, the art's hitting. Like I love when they are able to relax in the budget a little bit and really get a lot out of like, It is 2 PNGs of a bunch of lumpy people moving back and forth. That's the protest. And it looks great.
To be fair, it does just look really good.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just I think this was the moment where all of the things that this show is trying to do and all of the things that the other properties have tried to do really like held hands in a way that was very, very fulfilling to me. I really liked this scene a lot.
And I think it's interesting. I think for me, it specifically brought to mind the people who you can only get to care about ICE as a destructive force in America if you tell them that they have shot dogs.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's the same with just general police brutality. There are some people who do not give a shit about marginalized people or even people like them that just happen to not be them.
Yeah.
But if you can tell them that the police broke into someone's apartment to shoot them and then they also shot their dog, they might have a moment, a dark night of the soul, because they prioritize dogs over people. And like, that sucks. But also, if you needed someone to tell you that the police were bad and you needed it demonstrated by the death of an animal, I guess I'm glad you got it. I guess I'm glad that you know that now. But I do like that this is pointed out because, like, I think this is something people struggle with when they think about AI and robotics. So many people can extend empathy to robots that are not fully actualized people who can disagree with them. And, like, it's really interesting to see this literally happening in the show.
In the same way that, you can evangelize a baby until it demands things of you, you know? Same what?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, hey, I love a kid until it's like, I want rights. And I'm like, whoa. Whoa, you're brown.
I always think of this thing that it was supposed to be an empathy exercise. And they're like, here's a wooden ruler. I'm going to stick googly eyes on it and call it Harold. And then the whole class is like, haha, I love Harold. And then they snapped it in half and we're like, no, you killed Harold. And it's like, see, that's how quickly people can empathize with stuff. Except Harold isn't a person that has feelings and thoughts that can disappoint you. And I feel like that's often a disconnect when people say, like, we would or wouldn't respect robots or we would or wouldn't do this. Like, yeah.
And see, this was about probably, I don't know, 90 seconds of a 20-minute TV show airing on Amazon Prime, and it managed to do more than all of Atlas 2024.
Well, hey now.
And I do think there's something interesting here about the perception of authenticity, right? Because another little scene that we get is Aramaki shows up at the Colonel's house to, like, debrief him on how they're going to handle his security detail and stuff.
Dad's house,
yeah, his career dad, his
guy
dad
is like,
gave him a career.
This guy is like the pervert radish spirit, like the radish spirit from Spirited Away, but if he was a pervert.
Yeah,
that's what he looks like to me.
I will say, so, like, I've had a lot of like kind of mixed but overall complimentary feelings about like how TNA has been deployed and troubled by this show.
Yeah,
and
I've thought a lot of this whole thought this episode.
Yeah,
honestly, this was my most like.
It was a lot, but also to me, I didn't have as much trouble with the Robot Girls because it was this episode was so clearly about why people buy and exploit women-shaped objects and things like that.
Right. Yeah.
What got me this time was like, I'm really starting to have a problem with where fatness is deployed. And it's always the worst people in the world.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah, it's been pretty consistent.
I don't have a bigger thought than that. It is the same thing that's been happening since the dawn of time with fat phobia. I just wanted to just point it out because this episode specifically was like, yep, okay. The sweatiest, fattest guy you've seen.
Right.
I just have like one-ish more thing on the protest scene, which is that I am really getting it brings a richness out of Bato's character when we've gotten these first 3 episodes where he's back to his manga, like himbo, fully happy moron self. And then he gets to have this moment where like he has this like angry reaction and he's already in a sour mood because like Togusa fucked him over earlier. And like, there's this like great like dynamism to it where I like when, so I was having this conversation in the GRFM Discord about this show, and so when people were talking about innocence, and there are many defenders of innocence in that channel, and I like innocence more than I did when I first watched it last year. But anyway,
I have affection for it, like a professor who talked too much.
The point is like there are a lot of people who take the Bato in innocence, the depressed like brooding Bato, as like a sign of his sort of inner vulnerability. And like I buy it to some extent, But I think moments like this, where we've had so much happy-go-lucky machine gun murder hobo Bato, where he gets to have like an angry, like self-righteous reaction. Like, I don't even know that I 100% agree with how much vitriol he puts into judging these people. It's a nice thing to see him have values that he stands on, instead of just being like, oh, when do we get to murder the Yakuza this episode? I just think like that's another one. Again, like they're doing such a good job with that stuff, I think.
Absolutely. Oh, and I didn't finish my thought because I got sidetracked about the depiction of fatness, but there's a scene where the gross guy is like, oh, you know, I've got my lady robots here and you've brought your own. But I liked the new model because it didn't smell like robots. I can smell the white blood from over here, which of course,
and she flips him off.
And she flips him off and it's censored, which is quite good. I immediately was like, your cum blood stinks. I see Raiden and I say it smell crazy in here.
Right?
Stinks like sex in here.
But also just like, it's so funny because he's like making a point about things that feel or seem more authentic. And he's using the Major as a sock puppet, who is a person that we know. And it's so interesting because we're going to go into ghost dubbing and like, there's so much about the concept of the Ghost in the Shell, the entire media project, that is about how can you prove that you are authentic and what does it mean to be authentic and like what value does authenticity have? And I like that came up as like a detail in this.
It's like a dark mirror to that, right? Because these things that are fake people are made with real people. You know, it like wraps back around to that. And Nico, I even think you brought this up in the episode on the manga, which it wraps back into this really sick thing that's happening where we're finding out that some of these AI powered technologies that people are interfacing with are actually just people in like a technological sweatshop in Indonesia doing prompts.
I mean, the major lesson of the AI age, if it's anything, when you're actually looking at the infrastructure of it, which is these data centers, is that if you want to badly imitate human intelligence, it costs shitloads of money. It has a shitload of environmental impacts. It takes so much to mimic even a fraction of our power, to quote the meme.
Yes.
Thank you for the meme quote.
So instead, the cheaper thing to do is to go somewhere else and literally just get human brains, but human brains you can pay 15 cents an hour to basically be computers.
Right.
And I like that, and I like how it dovetails with the history of computing being in the ending. Like, again, this show is already just like a really rich text.
Well, and I like it as not just a metaphor for the replacement in AI in our current culture of the customer service role, and how that's kind of gutting India and the Philippines currently, but also of very blatantly, it's sex trafficking, right? It's I mean, they even evoke, you know, pedophilic rape in this, which is very intense. But like just the idea of like these gross, horrible people have to import at pennies on the dollar a romantic or sexual partner. And that's just better than, you know, paying the union. The union evoked again. Love how many times the union has been evoked.
100%. Well, the core of your point before you made that joke was very, you hit it on the head, I think.
Yeah,
definitely.
But yeah, it's I think my overall thoughts, just to kind of broad stroke this episode, is it's just going to be how I saw this against Innocence and how I saw this against the manga chapter. And I do think that it's my favorite telling of this story. One, because the Major stick, he's not divorced Bato at the beginning. Divorce Bato happens later on in this episode and never really fully. The Major is kind of hanging out with him. But we still get the juice of the Togasa interacting with Bato, but it's depressed Bato. And in the way that the show never really gives us the full depth of anything, it's moving with too much of a depth. It's trusting its viewers in a way that we as media literate people watching this is for media literate people, can interpret why Bato, who has been a gun-toting cowboy, is very interested in this specific situation. And we can interpret what we want out of that.
That's a great point.
A lot of like, oh, this is the depth to his character. Like, this is what makes him not just...
This is the stuff that cinches like those little touches, like the fact that he still works out, even though he could just buy arms like The Rock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those things that add up to something greater than like just the sum of their parts. Togusa.
Let's go.
Punch women. Togasa said punching women is the best thing you can do ever. Honestly, okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess.
Real feminism is getting in a fist fight with a woman.
True.
Our fail son can come in a clinch. And I think...
Is that?
I don't know. I think he redeemed himself this episode.
Well, see, he kind of does, but we get an excellent Togusa L before we get the little Togusa W, which is that, like, he keeps getting ahead of Bato, and I noted specifically the way he got ahead of Bato is because he's smaller and lighter. There's a moment where they have to duck under this big piece of ducting, and Bato takes longer to get under it. Yeah, Bato's crouch animation is longer than Togusa's, and so Togusa comes out first.
The next area hasn't loaded yet.
Yeah,
so you have to show the character crawling under something or squeezing in between rocks.
And Togusa turned around, and the camera did too, to look at Bato struggling, so the background could fully render.
Anyway, Togusa gets out ahead of him, and then it's like, yeah, I'm gonna take this guy on, and the guy just turns around and is ready to cap his ass, and it's a great slow-mo moment of Togusa realizing, because he has this triumphant look on his face. He's like, I've bagged the guy. I'm in a 1980s cop movie, and it's like, no, motherfucker, you're in cyberpunk world. His reaction times are better than yours. This guy is turning around, already firing. He almost gets Togusa, and Bato takes him out with the leg sweep. Oh, it was good.
I have a different interpretation of the scene,
Okay.
which is something
way. Okay, hold on. What?
I didn't see it as he has better reaction times. I saw it as Togusa as the cop. He is the civilian. To Bato, this is a known threat. He has taken shots. You kill on sight.
That's
to
fair.
Togusa, there is law and order. What he brings to Section 9 is we have legal plausible deniability because we yelled police once.
Well, Togusa last episode had to be stopped by the Major from taking a headshot, right? And so, like, I do feel like Togusa is still... I think there's like an unspoken threat analysis that is happening for all of the prior military and cyberized members of Section 9 that Togusa is out of the loop on. So, like, he doesn't have an idea of when the Major has a situation under control and he needs to take it down by 20%. And he also doesn't have an idea of when he's an actual threat. Doesn't know to take it up 20%.
He doesn't have the instinct as to like how the situation is going to be
and he
resolved.
doesn't fully know how to work with the squad yet.
I also feel like this is the great nuance of this, right? This is the great thing of like Innocence took over 90 minutes to get this friction between them like really sharpened. But I think what this does really well is it shows that like, yeah, Togusa is bringing like all of these weird cop assumptions to the table that are incompatible with the situation, but Bato's also kind of trying to shoulder him out. He wouldn't necessarily feel the need to like squeeze out and come out under Bato if Bato was including him in the sit rep or the plan or the raid at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's like they're both contributing to like this simmering issue between them, you know?
Yeah, I like that you said that like Togusa is bringing in like old cop thinking, because I do think that Bato has been doing better because he's bringing old military thinking, and everybody else is veterans as far as I know. And so that just kind of seems to work with everyone else. But when he and Togusa have to work together, they're like bringing incompatible paradigms to the table.
Also, really equally important to all this, Togusa make Nya face.
Yeah,
Togusa make Nya face. I realized all of the lovely women in the world who did Major O face as their avatar. I legally am obligated to change my avatar to Togusa Nya face. I can't believe I haven't already done it. I will fix it immediately after the recording. I am sorry to the friends and fans. It's really good. There's so many good things, including a line I wrote down from Bato when they're at the fucking robot morgue. If it was me, I would program them on a hardware level to suck it up about the injustice of robot obsolescence.
Oh my god.
I fucking know, dude.
It's so funny.
The man said.
Hey, is he not a great person?
It's fine. Cops be shit. I did see his Blade Runner cosplay. I saw your Blade Runner cosplay, Bato.
Scene,
I liked it.
scene.
I liked it.
Is that the coat? Is that the overcoat thing?
Yeah, the coat with the
He did?
shades.
Okay. Yeah. See, I watched.
Nico brought shit.
See, I watched the first Blade Runner once.
Take those off.
Forever ago, and I've never seen the second one. So to me, that
Take
was
those off.
No, don't take them off. The sunglasses stay
I'm
on.
podcasting in sunglasses now for the
I
listeners.
hate this.
I thought of Resident Evil Tyrant when he was wearing that shit.
Oh, I get that with the shoulders.
I do. I love the profile. There's so many profile. There's a specific shot when Bato and the Major are coming out of the robot morgue where Bato just looks like a fucking rectangle, and I love it. I love the profile.
Yeah. He's giving Kingpin in that first Spider-Man Miles Morales movie.
Speaking of making a little nya face, one of the ways that they're saved on this mission is because a Fuchikoma has been assigned by the Major to tail them in secret, and when the guy is about to escape, he like goes into a tunnel and the Fuchikoma just goes, hello.
Hello.
And then he goes,
I love it.
Neum.
Alice, no, I need you to talk to me about being tortured by the dentist when you were in a conflict zone.
Hey, I saw you had a scar above your lip, which means you were tortured by a specific guy that we all know. And also, I can just do this. I can just put my knife in your mouth through the teeth. And we're going to show this on TV at 10 p.m. at night in Japan.
Brother, this is the sound of Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom Pain did the same thing to me. The sound of a knife between the teeth is
Oh, and the Foley guys.
good.
Again, the Foley guys in the studio, I assume they're not Foley guys, but I like to think there's two Foley guys who are making Togusa Nya faces when they get to do the teeth, the knife between teeth. And they're doing it with, like, radishes somehow, and you're like, what the fuck? But it sounds exactly like you think.
I love how this show is doing aesthetic over functional cyberpunk. My specific I want to point to is the mecha maid at the beginning, which will be my profile picture when she pops out all of her guns. None of those make tactical sense, and it's kind of stupid, but
It's
vibes over everything. The eye popping out.
Alice, okay, I don't know if you listen to it, but I have been listening to the very good podcast Trangirlismo, which is a car podcast by two women who kind of found they didn't have industry roles in car journalism after they transitioned. They were recently talking about the trend of buying a Land Rover and then taking it to specific shops that turn it into a armored vehicle walking tank. You pay like $300,000 to $500,000, and they'll soup up your stupid little Jeep and turn it into this ridiculous tank because you think you're constantly in a conflict zone.
Hey, Trangirlismo.
Yeah, it's so good.
You should come on Cars Don't Fly. If you're listening, Trangirlismo, come on Cars Don't Fly.
I was thinking about that specifically around his robot maid who is overarmed to the teeth with like insane weaponry that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the robot upgrade kit that you sell to a guy who has too much money.
Yeah.
Like, that's exactly what it reminded me of, is the $500,000 personal transport that rich people buy.
You know, I'm really impressed with you two.
Real
What?
Psychoto energy.
I'm really impressed with you guys.
Oh, okay.
It's props.
That's a deep cut.
Hey, the listener,
Yeah?
listener, join me. We're gonna give these two lesbians a round of applause. Nobody's talked about the 7-foot tall butch cyborg that almost destroys Togusa from the waist up.
I didn't like the corset look, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, butches aren't really Alice's thing, but I saw you.
I was in until she participated in child trafficking. That was when, like, real big turnoff for Alice.
I don't care how GNC you are. Do not be trafficking children.
Do not be trafficking children. I agree with Alice. I will say
she's hot.
she's redeemed a little bit because she's the one that tortures the outright pedophile.
Yeah.
So like it kind of
Swings and roundabouts.
yeah, exactly.
No, I liked her, but I definitely like a supporting character. But I just like to see GNC women on screen. It was good, even though she had like a weird little corset thing going on.
Here's my other one. Okay, so we find the ghost dummy machines. We meet the two girls who did the thing. Where I think I'm struggling with how women are presented in this, and again, I think we can have that long discussion at the end of this, is these girls went through, plot-wise, very horrifying moments. The camera and the sound all angles us to be horrified in these moments. And then by the end of this, they're pulling little cutesy poses in the back and being little smug, like, cartoon chibis. It made me feel a weird way. I don't know.
I think part of the cognitive dissonance is that, like, Bato, like, expresses something which is hypocritical, because he was just griping about these people who care more about robots than people earlier.
Right.
And now he's griping at these girls about, like, okay, I get that you were being trafficked and killed and all, watching your friends get their brains destroyed and turned into mush. But you caused a lot of collateral damage. And he's telling them off. And it's so funny because it's like, that feels like a very analogous hypocritical view to the one he was pissed off about in the beginning. But then, like you said, the show has done so much work in this episode up to this point to make us horrified by what is happening, and then that just kind of stops. It's like it hits a wall, and we got to go into comedy mode. And I think part of that is pacing, And so, yeah, I get what you mean about, like, it feels a little incongruous for this to just drop the way it does.
And I want to be clear, what he says to them is people got hurt.
You're not people.
The plot clearly says that these 23 robots were sent to the worst perverts ever, who are buying sex dolls imbued with the souls of little girls. Like, I don't feel bad, Bato. Don't know about you.
Yeah.
It's tough, like I said, and I think part of this is the sacrifice you make when you want to move this fast. There's no room for reflection, except for Aramaki's at the end. And to make room for Aramaki, we have to cut anything here.
The same scene happens at the very end of Innocence, and Innocence doesn't spend any time on it either. And I think part of that is also, like, the same thing where they were very dismissive of the orphans in the first episode, which is just to say, like, Section 9, like, we're looking through Section 9's lens, and Section 9 doesn't give a fuck what happens to the aftermath of the situation.
True.
Yeah.
True.
That point of view becomes exponentially more uncomfortable when we get into subject matter that is very easy to rankle at. So yeah, I think that's valid. I also think it's if you're a viewer out there and this made you uncomfortable, like, I would just sit in that discomfort because I think the show wants you to feel it. And I would caution against, there's an impulse, I think, online, especially lately, to be like, this story contained this subject matter and therefore these things, it's bad to feel bad. Stories exist to also make you feel bad. That's another thing that stories do, and they should do that.
Well,
that's just generally. I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but just to put that out there.
Like, the Law and Order cut to true crime of all, true crime of everything, has made people be like, oh, that really happened, so we have to treat it with these like kid gloves. When it's like, these stories can explore these things and make you feel this way, because if we don't express collectively as a cultural zeitgeist that, hey, these things happen, then people become blind to them. They don't talk about them. They don't think about them. And
I also think there's a lot of ways you can people have different lines and thresholds for this, right? But I think one of the things that this episode did really well was, Nico said there was an economy of storytelling, and I think that really comes through well, especially when it comes to this kind of subject matter, because, like, just to kind of put it all out on the table, especially if you're not watching along and you're just listening, the most sort of in-your-face element of this is that it is heavily implied that these little girls traded sexual favors in order to get someone to upload this virus for them.
Yes.
And when we get that implication, it is this, like, incredible moment of, like, deep, sinister color and music sting, but it's not like porn. It doesn't, like, show us all this crap that's like, yeah, exactly.
But I think culturally,
it's done really well, I think.
I think culturally, in general, media has had to reckon with, like you said, Alice, like, how do we express the reality, which is that these things happen, without indulging in what you saw in a lot of early media, which would have been like rape revenge movies and things like that, where it was very important to the filmmaker to put the actual rape on screen. There was a time where it's like you wanted to talk about these issues, but for titillation, the thing would be on screen. And I think this show did a good job of not having the thing be on screen, but convey the horror of it regardless, which is, again, why it's like when you hit that brick wall of, like, Togusa tells them off and they start hitting the anime upset kid poses. It's like, okay, I know we got to move on, but that feels a little bad. But that's
it's a
just
little
also
deflationary,
yeah, exactly. That's a good word for it. It's deflationary.
Well, in another anime, that would be the end of an episode sting, and you would have to sit in it after the credits.
And then you have to reckon with it. Yeah. That's a really good. Yeah. Well, and I'll be interested to see what the series ultimately says. Like I said, we've been pulling out threads that are new or that are referencing other stuff, and we're interested to see how they come together.
Yeah,
I think we're seeing more threads, and I'm very interested because we're not even. Well, we are at the halfway point, right? Because it's going to be it's 10 episodes, not 8.
We're only 4.
Next episode is.
So
halfway
we're not
point,
even at the halfway point. I'm very interested to see.
Me too.
Yeah. I think our episode 10 coverage is going to be really interesting as we kind of unpack what actually got covered.
3-hour episode.
Yep.
They're calling evil opium vaping acupuncture CEO Jameson the greatest character design of all
They're
time.
saying this.
So-
Many people are saying
So
this.
Brian, for the listeners, Brian will in our Gits channel that we have for this coverage to drop things in. Just will sometimes give us little teasers, and I'm a very, you might know this about me, not too online person at this point, and I'm not following the active discourse. Like I can stay off Blue Sky until I've seen the episode, is what I'll say. But Brian will sometimes drop little teasers, and the teaser for this one, there's a Vaping Jameson. I could not have been prepared for
You don't understand what we mean by
greatest
this.
character design in any sci-fi anime ever put
They
on
do
screen.
so much with this too, like because
Oh.
it's such a genius move. You can't. Jameson is a box, and so most of the emoting you see in Jamesons are going to be like limb flailing. They do. They use the opium smoke to emote and show his state of mind in this. And it is
And the environment,
Okay,
well
the
done.
environment says so much
Yeah.
because he has a motherfucking vape juice switchboard that he chooses from. Like, that is infrastructure to support this kind of decadence.
Type 42, give me that coconut lime.
Exactly. You know I'm hitting the pina colada vape smoking my Jameson
I
chassis.
can't explain enough how he'll like when things are going bad, he'll be shown in a downward spiral of vape smoke with his gesticulating with his like one of his many arms is just an opium pipe in case the message wasn't like laid on thick enough. It is perfect.
And yes,
This is
before
the
you
Mac
have
of
to
all
ask,
time.
when this MF gets in a car with his Igor, he drives in the Jameson.
This Bacchus motherfucker is like he has given up his entire physical being to be in a pure pleasure box. He still has the sex robot ladies, of which he takes 5 with him on the trip because
They're like clown card in his
Well,
fucking
yeah, they're clown card in the fucking vehicle. The guy's like, our car is gonna burn out because you're trying to haul 5 fucking cyborg bodies in here. I love the fact that he's like, it's almost like sewing, like when you used to have to flee the country and you'd like sew valuables into the hems and linings of your clothing.
Yeah.
It's like, on the one hand, I want these sexy ladies around, but on the other hand, I gotta sell them. I gotta be making moves.
they make moves.
Yeah.
Something so something I've been struggling with this show is how to kind of put it in the scope of other anime that we see, because like categorization is important. And honestly, after watching this episode, I really think this is a cute girls doing cute things anime. I'm
That's such a
calling
funny
it
thing
now.
for you to say after your previous statements.
When you think of how things go from a whiplash of super serious to super cozy to super funny, drawn in different ways and kind of a Fuchikoma evocation, you care about your main cast and what they're going through, and it's just in a fun, weird setting. I think this is a cute girls doing cute things.
I think all attempts to impose taxonomy are fundamentally fool's errands, and I think we could leave it there.
Damn, that's some, like humanity
pretty-
shit.
That's basically what I was about to say, which is just like I'm not going to disagree with you because it actually doesn't matter to me if that's true or not.
That's perfect.
That's fine.
That's
You can believe
perfect.
this. I just want to say, okay, this is so Bato. I love the banter here. Bato and Togusa are chasing. They're in a car chase, and now it is a long distance car chase because the guy has a lead on him. But
Yep.
they're chasing, and it's so funny because Bato's like, "Don't shut down the port with the Coast Guard unless we stop hearing the engine." And then he's talking some shit, and then Togusa's like, "I've stopped hearing the engine," and he's like, "No, shut up. We're still gonna catch him. We're still gonna catch him." And when they fucking Tokyo drift into the dock where this ship is, the look Bato, it will be on the website. Bato has an insane facial expression. That needs to, I don't know which
Yeah.
category of person needs this to be their avatar, but somebody gotta equip it.
So, Bato's stunt driver is a famous Australian guy. His name is Reese Mitten, and he actually did this stunt in one
Shut the
attempt.
fuck
He
up.
didn't need a body kit at all.
Shut the
Justin-
fuck up. Listen to Cars Don't Fly.
At the second I believed you. He's so overjoyed. And then I think, talking about small threads that I think are very interesting, and I'll be interested to see what happens with them. We cut from this, from the Jameson falling off into the bay, into the sludge.
I have one more here before we go to that, which is this boat that they drive by, the fucked up round boat. This is 1-for-1 from the manga, and I remember reading the manga and saying, what's this fucked up boat gonna do? And it's just nothing. And I don't know, like, there's a certain point where they just take things from the manga for, like, a reason, and it's just great. That's it.
Because the mechanical design is weird. I mean, we talked about it in the manga. There's, like, the sub-sea bot. It's weird and cool. I like it.
Anyway, Jameson falls, gets picked up by a crane.
Jameson falls, and we cut immediately to news coverage. And it is a newscaster saying that there is going to be an investigation of this guy to determine whether this clearly elaborate and premeditated crime was the product of his ghost or a mechanical issue, because he only is a spine and a brain inside the Jameson. I'm like so interested by that, because it is functionally, it's very obviously not a mechanical malfunction. This has too much stuff going on.
There were too many other people who were clearly organic involved.
Yeah,
also, like,
but it's almost like when somebody who very clearly was in sound mind and body files an insanity plea just to see if they can get it. Like, that's what it seems to me.
Oh, that's fascinating that it's like, this is the new insanity deal where it's like, I had a glitch in my, my logic mods misfired,
and
that's why I kicked that child into
disassociated.
And I like the idea of this, because we talk about
God told me to.
Yeah, God told me to,
one.
exactly.
Yeah.
I like this because we've talked so much about ghosts and shells as mechs. Imagine you're in a war crimes court and you present the plea, I didn't do that, my mech did. Like, where do we go there? Like, do you get to plead for the tank?
AI equipped.
The tank did this? Like,
I would pay money. Somebody, if you're listening to this and you make anime, figure out how to have this happen. There is a underrepresented episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine where Worf is on trial for basically doing a war crime, and it is very much like, to what extent is this Worf's responsibility, and to what extent is this the mechanical like circumstance of the moment. And I think that's just that's really fertile ground. Unfortunately, I don't think this show is going to go back to that guy. I don't think we're going to find out anything else about that. But I like it as something that's just sort of there.
Another little thread, because again, that is something we haven't seen the Major deploy it, but arguably the Major could deploy it, because she's also like a full replacement. And it's like, I'll be interested to see. I like this as an element in the goulash, so to speak.
The goulash.
I like this as the hot dog in the soup. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the hot dog in the soup. We've been looking for it.
One more thing, because Nico made me think of it. I am sort of curious about because we know in Standalone Complex the court system is these fucked up judge helmet think tank things. Yes. I want to know what the courtrooms in this look like.
And are they going to let him vape? That's the main thing I'm worried about. But yeah, so we get through all this. We get to the end scene where Aramaki is talking to the colonel, and it's like, listen, we're wrapping this up, whatever. And he doesn't kind of go tit for tat. He exposes, like, the Major and him in the background while Togusa and Bato were doing buddy cop shit, have basically exposed how this guy handed over former military property, if I understand it, for the Honka facility to be built. And, like, he was clearly in collusion with them as a functionary that they could rely on to help get permits. And they the Major and Aramaki have seized the opportunity to go ahead and expose that while they were doing this other thing.
It seems like he enabled the thing, but perhaps was not aware of the degree to which humanity or human rights were being eliminated.
Yeah, like, he may not have been aware exactly how this was going down, but he did know that he was giving basically cuts and kickbacks to Honka. The robot was a kickback. And
I like his energy of like, oh, I got, all right, like, whatever.
And I like at the end, Aramaki is leaving. Yeah. First of all, he calls him Daisuke, which is Aramaki's first name, no honorific. Yeah. And then he calls him Daisuke-kun, like a little boy, or like your bro. And it was so funny that it's like, that's something that the translation didn't fully capture, but he does have this jocular, familiar attitude towards Aramaki the whole time, and we get to see a sliver of what we were seeing constantly in Standalone, which is Aramaki just cutting ties.
Yeah. Well, Japanese police. They are like a brotherhood. They're their own Yakuza.
Yeah.
He is.
Exactly. They're their own Yakuza, and they're also like they're factional and agential in that way. That, like, we going all the way back to Pat Labor 2, that's something that we've talked about.
Correct.
Yeah.
Good
And
callback.
Aramaki is an interesting character in this context because he is the lone righteous man kind of thing in an interesting way. And he's willing to sacrifice interpersonal relationships and a lot of the wheeling and dealing that would help elevate him. He openly says in this episode, this guy basically got me my career. And he's willing to go, okay, I'm where I need to be. I'm done playing the game. Which is really interesting.
Guys, there's one thing that we do have to do, which is we have to rate these goddamn mechs. Were there any mechs in this episode? Nico, you wrote down here police armored suits. I don't count them in this one, I feel like.
I count them. They're big and bulky. They're wearing them.
The Fuchikoma, who has a small but powerful moment, and the ghost dubbed robots. So the sex robots dubbed with the souls of little girls.
Jameson also.
Oh, the Jameson. I did miss the
Jameson has to get play here.
Yeah.
So same thing we've been doing. We are rating these 1 to 10 every episode as we go through this. So just based on this episode, just the mechs, where are you rating this one, guys? I'm gonna be honest. I'm coming up front. I pre-ordered the model kit today. It's a 10 out of 10.
Which model kit? The Major or one of the robots?
There's 2 separate ones for the Fuchikoma.
Oh,
one
God, link
comes
me.
with the Major and it's unpainted, and the other comes as just like the Fuchikoma. But
I
it's
want the unpainted
pre-order
one.
and
I
they
want to
haven't
paint it.
showed it. Yeah, and that's one that comes with the Major, and ooh, okay, I'll link it to you. Anyway, Brian.
Yeah, thank you for asking. This would still be a 10 if it weren't for the fact that there was fans of OS, longtime fans of OSG will know that that the Jameson is like my favorite thing in the universe. I screamed and cried when I got to play the Jameson for 30 seconds on the Ghost in the Shell standalone complex PS2 game. Yeah, so this is an 11.
Oh, honestly, yeah.
Well, I'm coming in here a little low. We get less Fuchikoma.
Mm-hmm.
I do think, like, I would have gone down to an 8, just because we get less Fuchikoma. The police suits, which I was counting, I think look stupid, but I kind of enjoyed that they look stupid. It's just funny. They look like big muscle suits.
Yeah.
But I was going to knock it down a little bit, but the ghost dubbing machine is one of my favorite plot elements from Ghost in the Shell, and I do think it is how you can argue that even the robots in this, if the cheapest way to make an AI is to ghost dub, whatever. Because Bato describes the history of it. This is a machine that's already existed. It was presumably used on less disposable people, and then they found out that, like, a photocopy of a photocopy, it degraded them over time. I'll put this at a 9, because, again, it's not as hype as, like, we got crazy cool Fuchikoma combat last episode, so that's kind of... But the ghost dubbing machine, again, is, like, super important to my understanding of the shells and the robots as mechs.
Oh, that's so true. That's so true. How much was the Major a gremlin this episode, y'all?
I would say 0 gremlin. The flipping, well, I guess the flipping off. That's
the
pretty
flipping off,
gremlin.
the PTO.
Pretty gremlin.
She's just not really there, and I like that. I like when we get to I hope we get more like Boma and stuff, and Saito maybe. But yeah, I don't think she was super gremlin-y in this one.
It wasn't about her.
Speaking of that, do you think we're going to get, like, because the next few chapters in this kind of lean a little into the other members of Section 9? Spoilers from the manga. The other characters of Section 9 get some front time.
This is what I'm excited about, because these were not manga chapters that we read as part of our tour, so I'm excited to look at this.
Okay, yeah, I think this can go. I think if they keep up this pace of having them be the next couple episodes be focused on the other members, I think that's a fun bit. Those are the 2 questions. But there's one more thing we have to do before we go to the wrap up for this episode. Brian?
Yeah.
I need you to walk over here.
Okay.
Because you're on the stand. Because you're on fucking trial. Brian, we got a letter from a listener, a hot tip, straight off the presses about what you've done.
Yeah.
Nico, as my bailiff, please take this letter and read it aloud to the court. And Brian, this is what you fucking get for what you did to me last week. Nico.
The bailiff's job is definitely to present evidence, so here I go. Hello. Heavily enjoying your watch-along series for the Ghost in the Shell 2026. Your discussions of the differences from the original manga is inspiring me to pick that up so I can spot them myself. Good luck with Volume 2. That's some editorial from me, the bailiff.
Bailiff's also known for editorialization.
Yeah, we just get to chip in. Since I've been primarily watching the English dub for my first viewing, I wanted to offer correction to a claim someone made in the pod for episode 1.
Now, we are naming names at this point in the court, but continue.
In the English dub, Motoko Kusanagi is not voiced by Lizzie Freeman, the actor for Pomni in The Amazing Digital Circus. The Major is voiced by Susie Young, who voices Makima in Chainsaw Man, while Freeman gives voice to the Fuchikomas. I only bring this up because I personally think giving the Fuchikomas a voice that evokes such a terminally online show like TADC is a genius casting move that speaks to the themes of artificiality, identity, and dissociation that the Fuchikomas offer up as mechs, especially as seen in episode 3. Enjoying the show in pod, Villian.
Before we continue to try, let's reply to this email, which is, this is a great call. Honestly, I agree.
It is. I agree. The villain is dancing around something here and if you've watched The Amazing Digital Circus, you know what it is, but It is a very late show twist that has to do with all the characters that if you know that fact makes this a very, very, even if you don't know that fact, I think this is a good point, but if you know that fact, this is an extremely good point. So I also agree. Yes.
Also explains why I get so little flushed in the cheek when the Major talks.
Thank you. It explains why they're overusing therapy talk with each other all the time.
Under Woke 2, all of our Fuchikomas will be equipped with. No, I'm kidding.
My defense. Now, this is the statement that I'm going to give that you have to pick apart, and just for the record,
hold a gun on.
I was about to ask. You want me to hold my nightstick at him, boss?
Yeah.
My story giving animation is that sometimes I'm wearing like a big pea coat, and sometimes I duck behind the coat and I'm very clearly smoking a bong, and then I like kind of peek back out and exhale a bunch of smoke into the courtroom.
And the smoke, much like the Jameson, it expresses things.
My defense is I fucked that up. I don't know. So the funny thing is, I went back after I saw this email and I listened again, and that Susie Young still sounds like the little clown to me. Maybe I just made that association and now I can't get out of it, but I still think it sounds too similar, and I still think fundamentally the Major's voice actress in this is not working for me at all. It's very unfortunate. I do not like it.
I would definitely recommend, again, I'm the bailiff. I've got the nightstick up, and I'm editorializing as I hold the nightstick over Brian. I would definitely recommend, definitely if you're enjoying the English dub, finish out the English dub, but then go back and give the Japanese voice cast a listen, because I think the Major is really good in that, but especially Bato's voice work in this. I did it
Bato's
a bit,
voice work is great.
Bato's voice work in this episode is crazy. It's really good. Anyway, I'm holding that nightstick really.
I like both, but I will say the Japanese dub is better acted.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but I just want to be clear that I've never misattributed anybody on this podcast to the wrong role. So,
objection!
Alice, I have a picture of Shakira in one hand and a picture of Janet Jackson in the other. Can you tell me which one is which?
All right, we're ignoring that. I'm beating Brian. You want it done hot dog or hamburger style,
gavel.
boss?
Hamburger style. I'm beating the gavel. We're ending court and we're wrapping up this coverage. And that's this episode of On the Shoulders of Giants, where we discussed episode 4. Any parting thoughts? You too.
Yes, because I forgot to bring it up. The ending art. The art of the Major, Bato, and Aramaki as delinquents, and Tokusa as a nerd, which is priceless.
With the Otacon spiral glasses.
Yeah, with the Otacon spiral glasses. It's incredibly good. This was done by Tetsuya Nishio. Nishio is a renowned character designer and key and tween animator. I believe he currently works at Production IG. He has a long-ass resume, including work on The Cat Returns, Millennium Actress, the Cowboy Bebop movie, the Evangelion rebuilds, Gurren Lagann, and huge chunks of Ghost in the Shell, including Innocence, Sack Second Gig, Arise, and Solid State Society. But what many people may know him from is being Masashi Kishimoto's personal pick for character design when Naruto is adapted to anime. He's worked on pretty much every Naruto animation project since. So that's my little bit for the end.
Damn.
Brian, what about you?
I just want to point out that in this image, which these end cards have been some of the best images of all fucking time, my guy.
Best
Aramaki is like the Kempo coach.
Yes.
He's wearing like a tracksuit, but he's wearing it clearly over his Section 9 uniform, which is so amazing.
That's our Mamdani core.
Yeah. Anyway, my final thought is as of the releasing this, which is Saturday, August 1st, the OSG Locked In Game Jam is over. It was incredible. People did absolutely unhinged projects. They're insane. I can't wait to record that episode.
I'm so excited to crack into them. It was so good. The vibes in the Discord were so great. I was fucking up my time management so bad, and yet everybody was having so much fun, and we were all fucking up, and we were all having fun. There was so much good shit.
As somebody who unfortunately was not in the position in life to participate in this, I've been perusing these as they come out. And hey, you ever get like free content for your specific kink? It's the greatest thing ever.
Alice is like, yeah, you call it Locked In. I call it the Predicament Bondage Jam.
My last thought is, for those listeners who are listening along with us, drop in the Discord channel. Which Section 9 member are you? I want to know. I'll have a question for you next week. Thanks for listening. Pilots, if you have any thoughts on the show, you can send those to us at questions@osgpod.com. They can be evidence of crimes. And non-pilots can send general questions or feedback to the same address. You can also catch up with us on social media. Links are in the description for updates and more. You'll find a link to the show Discord there. Please come and discuss your opinions on the new Ghost in the Shell with us on that website.
Yeah.
You just gotta finish it. You just gotta finish it, girl.
I can do it.
Lock in, baby.
Make sure to check back next week when we'll be talking about episode 5 of The Ghost in the Shell 2026. Goodbye. I Ghost W.
Ooh, that's not good.
Goodbye, I love you. I heard they're going to London next week. Do we think we will have Sommelier Arc with Aramaki?
If we do, it'll be 30 seconds, but it'll be good. Goodbye, I love you.